Well, hello there. So, I need to break some hard truths to you first and foremost before we get into anything deeper about starting a business. You are probably going to want to develop this lengthy 20, 25, 30-page business plan, and you're going to want to get that in front of as many financiers as possible. You're going to be going down to the banks and the credit unions, and they are going to crumple it up and light it on fire on their desk in front of you. What we need to do is we need to develop a one-page business plan that is just for you so that you know where you're going and what your trajectory is. The next stage of that is that we need to write a business manual, a true day-to-day operations manual of how you're going to run your business. That is the keystone of this foundation, and then we're going to work our way up from there. Now, in my experience, when you go to these credit unions and you go to these banks and you ask for financing, they're going to ask you two questions. One, are you bringing in any revenue? And two, do you have any assets to put up against it? And not to sound like Dave Ramsey, but there's one self-evident truth in all of this. You can't risk your car and you can't risk your house to make this happen. So we're going to figure out how to do this all on our own. We're going to take the long road. We're going to save up our pennies and we're going to put them in a jar. And we're going to figure this out and we're going to do it together. So at the very beginning here, what I'm going to need from you is to answer a couple of simple questions, and it's going all the way back to kindergarten, and that's how we're going to develop our one-page business plan, at least in a loose form. It's nothing official. It's nothing you're going to show to anyone. I need to know who, what, when, where, why, and how, and we're going to break that down together. Alrighty, sports fans, I've got my very high-tech presentation in front of you. We're going to break this down and then we're going to reorder it, because the order is going to help define what the one-page business plan actually looks like, and that'll probably come in the form of a part 2 video when I have a bit more time to put something together. It's a little bit more pretty for you. We need to start out with the who, and of course the who is you. To start and run a business, you're going to need the mindset of ownership. You're going to have to get so tired at your day-to-day job being under the control of someone else and knowing that you can do it better, or that you have an idea that you can develop and really birth something into this world that it hasn't seen before. You need to know that working a normal job is not for you, and the struggles that come with business operations are acceptable in comparison to the struggles at the job. So that's where who comes into place. I need to know, and you need to know, that whatever struggles you're going to encounter in this process are worth pushing through, and that you will never reach a point where you go, oh my God, I should have kept my job. You need to know who you are before getting into this, otherwise everything else you do and effort for it is going to be wasted. And of course, the next question is going to be what? To start a business, you either need to already provide a service in your day job or be able to produce a product worth selling. So look at your current job. Do you have the applicable skills? Do you make anything worth selling at home as a hobby? This is the real definition of where we're going. Once you know who you are and that you have it in you to do these things, we need to know what you're going to do, and then we're going to break down a timeline of when we're going to do it. The when is a simple timeline that you're going to work on. Do you have the savings for this venture right now? If you don't have the savings right now, how long would you need to save into the future to make it happen? Determine how much money is needed in the how section of this, and then we'll really be able to define a timeline. So that's your when. The all-critical where. And the title of this channel is literally Backyard Businessman. Now, in my case, I own my home. We don't own it outright. We do have a mortgage. But we have a detached outbuilding that's kind of a workshop attached to a 2-stall garage. And it has all of the structure that we need to turn it into a viable business long-term. So that's our where. For you, the where might be a closet in your spare bedroom that you use to do voiceovers. It might be a garage just like we're doing. It might be space in your basement or attic or just about anywhere. Once you've defined what you're doing, the where is easy. You just got to know, can I do this at home? Do I need a dedicated space? Are we able to go for a standalone brick and mortar business right out of the gate? That's the question that you need to ask yourself, and it's really going to make things easy in the long run. Another important aspect of where is if you're producing a product and you're selling it online, you generally just need a production space, which is a whole lot easier than if you have a service space that needs to welcome in customers. So where is crucial, service versus product. The next major question is why, and I kind of touched on this in the who section. You know who you are, but you need to know why you're doing it. If this is a get-rich-quick scheme, I got bad news. This is going to be a 2 to 5 year venture for you before you are even at a stable position where you're making an equal income to what your day job was and exceeding that into the future. Remember, the end goal of this is that we're really looking for a six-figure income out of your backyard. And maybe this is something that has a little bit of scalability to it. Like we said, we're going to bring on a second dog groomer at some point in the future, and that's going to allow us to make more than we ever could on our own, and will set the stage for hopefully, opening a brick and mortar store one day. And the all-critical how. You'd kind of say to yourself, isn't all of this the how, or shouldn't that be the first one in the list? And you're kind of right in both ways. The how is going to be our operations manual, our day-to-day business plan of how we're going to run our business, how we're going to greet customers if we have a service, how we're going to greet people to our website if we're selling a product, what system we're going to use to sell that product. All of the minutia that goes into the actual operations of your business, opposed to just the idea of the business. Alrighty, so we're going to break this down in a part 2. It might be a little while before I produce this because I need to turn what I made, which was a 26-page business plan, into exactly this. So bear with me, I'm going to put that together, but in between me producing that video and you watching this one, I want you to answer all of these questions, and then down in the comments, after you subscribe, I want you to harass me. Bother me. Ask me all of the questions that I didn't answer in this video and anything that you want me to answer in a future one.